Good morning, guys. Okay, I have my coffee. The sun is coming up. The window is open. Hear the birds. Today we're going to do a one brand get ready with me using Flower Beauty. All I have on is my sunscreen. Just did this. This is the Urban Decay Anti-Aging Eye Primer. I put that on. It's, I think, the only thing in here, except for the eyeshadows, that are not from Flower Beauty. This primer's already on my face. It's one of four. They sell for $13. So each one does something different. Well, I thought, okay, well, my pore minimizing primers are all gone, so that's the one I'll get. But I won't buy this again because this does not minimize my pores. And I don't trust the others because this one's a liar. This feels just like a moisturizer to me. It doesn't really minimize or do anything to the pores at all. I mean, it feels good. Comes out green. So you think, I don't know, does it correct? Is it color correcting? No. Don't know why it's green. I guess because of some ingredient in it. But I also ordered one of their masks. It was this one. They have three. It wasn't a horrible mask, but it wasn't a great mask either. You know how you open a mask and there'll be serum that you can pour out and put all over your arms and everything else, a really juicy one? That one wasn't. It had just enough for the mask itself. So you put it on and, you know, I mean, there was nothing spectacular about the mask. It was hydrating. This is a new concealer for them. It's part of their Light Illusion series. So this is what this is called, Light Illusion. And I have it in L34. And the reason that I did that is because the first foundation that I picked up was 3-4. That was the wrong shade for me. This is a little yellow for my skin tone. I like that the doe foot is slanted like this. It feels very natural putting it down under your eyes. So I'm just going to take one little dab here, and I work with one side and then move to the other. It is full coverage, and it does an excellent job. I don't have any problems with it settling. My problem is that it's the wrong shade, which is not their fault. So as you can see, that did conceal my under eye problem. And I'm gonna move to the other eye. The concealer gets a thumbs up from me. I have applied the foundation with brushes, with my hands, and with their own sponge. Let's just talk about the sponge. I really like the sponge. All right, then, so here it is wet, and as a comparison, I took a brand new Miss A sponge, and I got it wet. Okay, so this is the Drew and the Miss A sponge right next to each other. This one is softer than this one. All right, I have two of their foundations, and I don't normally do that. I won't normally purchase two of a foundation and mix them because it's not cheap, but it's cheaper than what I normally wear. So L3 Nude has a yellow undertone. Porcelain L1 has a pink undertone. So I don't normally wear porcelain. I figured this is gonna be a little light. I'll mix it with this. Here I just put 2 pumps. This foundation is very, very sheer. You think it's not, but it is. These are glass bottles, and all of her line has this rose gold metal that says flower on it. I think this looks like an expensive foundation, to tell you the truth. Drew Barrymore to me, it looks like Summertime 17. Okay, that's the way her makeup look is, that's the way she looks, and I think that the foundation is meant to be like that. I don't hate these foundations at all. I don't mind having them, but if you don't like that barely covered face, then you might not like these foundations, and they will not last you 8 hours. They wear off on my nose in places. At night when I take off my makeup, there's still makeup there, but not very much, so just know that. And I'm gonna mix them together, but mixing the two together gives me a perfect shade. So I'm just gonna put this on my face. Because it's so sheer and I'm using a sponge, 4 pumps is what I'm gonna need. I personally, because this foundation is so sheer, I like using a brush with it better. Or just my fingers. I'm going all over my eyes and everything else. I'm getting really sloppy. This end of this sponge, as you'll notice, has a little so that you can get underneath your eye, but look how huge that is. Okay. So I wish this tip was a little more narrow, but you know, it is so squishy that you can just squish it down. The foundation is sheer enough that, as you can see, this H spot is still coming through. So I will be taking the concealer now and coming back over here and here and my nose, just to give myself a little more coverage in those 2 areas. I can't count. That was 3 areas. This foundation is extremely dewy. Dewy to the point where even I want powder. I'm gonna set under my eyes with their Allure Beauty, winning in 2015. They won an award for this powder. I'm only opening this because I love you. And I wanna use it in the video to show you. But this powder sent me after this one. And I'll be using this over the rest of my face. All right, I'm not kidding you. Hold your breath. This powder won the Allure Beauty Award in 2015, and I want to know who was on the panel and ask them a question. Did you actually put this on? Because, first of all, there's no denying that this stuff looks excellent on your face. So it's actually excellent powder for results. But girl, I'm sorry. I just cannot use it for a couple of reasons. One, I'm serious. You need a gas mask or something when you put this on. They failed to mention this anywhere. This is 100%. There's nothing else in this. It's straight silica. Silica is in lots of cosmetics. This is 100% silica, and it gets like in everything. I swear to you it does. So now the problem here, not only because I don't want to every time I use this go, it's not very good with camera flash, and if you are darker than me, it's probably gonna show up. So, but for me, this would work, and you would just do this, and it will mattify this foundation down, so it's not so luminous looking, and it does blur imperfections away. All right, so enough of that. I've talked about that. Boom, gets a thumbs down from me. However, the Light Illuminating Perfecting Powder is a different story. So it's very nice, not as creamy as like L'Oreal True Match, but the finish is about the same. So here in the bottom it has a mirror. It comes with a sponge, which you can see I used once and went, nope, not the way I want to do this. So the way I do it is I take their Flower Beauty powder brush, and this is very soft. I saw a little poet with this a few weeks back, and she was like, oh, it's so soft. It is. It is soft. Like flip-flop soft. This is the kind of powder brush I normally use. I normally use a more dense one, like this. But it works out really well with their powders. So you just dab in here, and that's what I'm gonna do, and then just do this number. For me, I think that this is a winning combination. I really like this powder here. This is their Lift and Sculpt Contour and Highlight Palette. Again, really pretty packaging. But not very protective. As you can see, I busted the contour. But it was such a good contour, I put it back together. This is all you gotta do, guys. Tap. That's it. Watch. See, it doesn't take a lot. You might look at this palette and go, oh my gosh, they want $14 for that, but because there's not very much. However, it doesn't take a lot, so it probably would last longer than something you had to use a bunch of. This is a really light blush, and I'm going to put some on my nose and right here. But I'm going to use their other blush to actually blush up my face. As you can see, this one is very faint. This palette only comes in 2 shades, really pale girl and slightly tanned. And it's almost always broke in the store, so if you want it, look below. There's a link to buy it online. Since I'm already here, I'm going to take a fan brush, and I mean a wiggly fan brush. Okay, don't get a stiff one, and don't get something like this to go into this highlight, because you just want to drag a little bit and whoop. And we're going to be mixing this with our blush in a minute, because this stuff is powerful. And then I like to go over the top of my nose. I like that I have this. I've enjoyed using it for 2 weeks. I won't purchase it again though, because I just think there are better ones out there for less money. So while we're talking about blush, there's this stick. I don't like this at all. This is their cream. This is called apricot or something. I don't like the way this blends. It just blends away. Now I'm going to move into their flower pot blushes, and yes, they resemble the Milani ones, but they're very much smaller. So this one is in Wild Rose, and these I think are really, really nice. I like this blush. This is normally where I would do my eyeshadow, so I'm going to slip off camera here for a little bit. And the eyeshadow palette that I've been using for the last couple of weeks with this line is the Jaclyn Hill. So I will be right back. Alright, I'm back, and so I just used their shadow brush to do my eyes. I just used a couple of colors, but the shadow brush is kind of pinched down, kind of like a really thick shader brush. And you can get in your crease and do your crease work and also lay down. You can get a couple of eyeshadows on your eye pretty easily with this brush. So, I mean, I do love this brush. So I'm glad I have it. The next 2 products are why I think that it's important to use cosmetics for a couple of weeks at least to really get a feel for them before you come and say, I really like this. I have learned this over the course of having my channel. I have learned that just because I like it initially doesn't mean if I spend a couple of weeks with it that it won't be on my last nerve. It's like a bad friend, okay? So that would be this brow pencil, which the first 2 or 3 days that I used this, I loved it. All right, on one end, of course, is the pencil. On the other end is a spoolie, and I quite like the spoolie. It's short, so it's not too long, and it's not too soft, and yet it doesn't hurt either. So I think that the spoolie is pretty good for me, and I like it. It's a very creamy formula. I loved the way that it went on, but after a couple of days, the point wears off, and then it doesn't do as good a job, you see, and there's no way to sharpen it. See how thick this pencil is? So if you're the kind of girl that needs to just have a pencil so you can just kind of go, this might be something you love. But if you're the kind of girl that wants to go in and precisely map out your brow, I don't think you're going to like this past day 3, because it's going to get blunt and it's a thicker pencil. So you can't exactly draw little hairs with it. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and swipe through my brow. What I like about this formula though is a lot of times when you get a brow pencil from the drugstore and you do that, when you take the spoolie then and you go over it, it gets smeary. But this doesn't do that. So it sets down and then it stays in place all day. So the only thing that I wish was that it was skinnier maybe, so I could draw little hairs at the front. See, now this is gonna be too big, and because there's no point anymore, I'm gonna have to be very careful coming to the front of my brow and flicking up, because what I'm doing is I'm drawing a tree trunk thing. This is called That's So Kohl instead of cool. And it is a eyeliner, but it has a smudger on the end, so you could, this is for like your smoky eye, and I do believe it's meant to go here. I should have gotten the one called Forever Wear eyeliner. They didn't have it when I initially went shopping, and I thought, I've spent enough money, we're gonna do with this. And I love this. The first week I used it. Then, like the eyebrow pencil, the point wears down. And so it's really hard if you're not just gonna come outside your eye. If you wanna go up in your waterline and you wanna get in your tight line, then you gotta be very careful, because this is a huge pencil. And so this is kind of my fault. But if the formula of their eyeliner is like this, then I would say this is a winning product. If you're that girl though that likes to smudge, put some here, right, and smudge, this is ideal for that, and I believe that's what this is intended for. I think that most people love this, the formula and stuff for the flower. I think they're called Petal Pout lipsticks. I definitely like the packaging of all of her cosmetics. This shade is really pink. It is called Pink Orchid. So it feels comfortable on my lips, but I notice as I drink and carry on that it starts to smear off my mouth. And then I'm like, well, that's attractive. If I do use that lipstick, then I take a lip brush and I scrub it into my mouth and make sure I blot to get most of it off. So most days when I wore it, I would put it on like that and then I would wipe it completely off. And that would keep it from smearing, and I think gave my lips more of the pink color that I was looking for, and then put a gloss over it. But what really won me over wasn't this. It was these, the lip duos. So these are called mix and match duos. And I got this one first. It won you over too, because I wore it on Instagram and everybody wanted to know what is on your mouth. It's this. On one end you have the lipstick. It's a full bullet. And then on the other end you have this kind of like a metal. Not really a gloss, it just kind of turns the lipstick into a metal kind of lip. If you don't want to wear this, you could totally just wear this. So I'm gonna use the Tickled Pink, but I wanna show you that this is the color for Bronze Envy. And then you can change its color. I'm gonna put it on half by setting it down with this other end. So see, it just kind of metallized it and changed the color slightly. Very beautiful. So much that I got another one. So this one is Tickled Pink. It's a creamy formula. So that's the way this looks. It's not gonna settle down. You're always gonna get this. Okay, I'm gonna set my face before I do my mascara, and this is one of two of the setting sprays. I picked this one because it's Drew's favorite. It's the Seal the Deal Hydrating Setting Spray, and this one is the Dewy Finish. It's a very, very, very fine mist. This does have a fragrance. There's some really good ingredients in here, but trailing down at the end of this list, there is a fragrance, and to me, it's pretty strong. I think it smells beautiful. But if fragrance bothers you, you're not going to like this. And I would imagine it would be the same for the other one. I think it does a really good job of bringing the luminosity back. Alcohol is the second ingredient in this, so I probably won't buy this again. The e.l.f. one has managed to do that with no alcohol. I know they say it evaporates off before it can do any damage to your skin, so possibly that isn't a concern of yours. Grand finale then would be the mascara. So this is the Lash Warrior. The wand looks like this. I'm gonna do my bottom lashes first. So that's one coat. I find that this mascara doesn't hold a curl very well. My lashes tend to fall. All right, so there we go. That's one coat. They are feathered and they have a natural look to them. All right, I'm gonna take care of this hair and then I'm gonna be back with a few more thoughts. This fragrance, Sunshine. I do quite like it. It's very, very soft. It hangs around for about 4 hours and then you need to put some more on. I guess it smells like a summer day, hence the name Sunshine. Okay. Do you guys have any of these cosmetics? Which ones do you like or don't? Do you agree with me or not? I'd like to know. Put it down below. If you've never been here before and you're still here, you must have liked this video, right? So why don't you hit that red button below and subscribe to the channel? It'll make my day. And I'd like to thank you for existing, Fritzy family, for being the best part of the Fritzy family. Okay? And if you're not having a blessed day, please go out and be a blessing to somebody else. And until next time, love you. See ya. Bye. And I'm out.
Do you guys hear the birds? Shut up, annoying birds! No, just kidding. I love the sound of the birds. Birds and bells. Birds and bells. I feel like I'm living in a fairy tale. Sunscreen on my glasses. What a pain for me. Sunscreen on my glasses makes it so I can't see. The first product in the lineup is the Flower Beauty. I'm not going to say Flower Beauty, I promise. I'm not going to say Flower Beauty all through this. The Flower Beauty lipstick, the Flower Beauty powder, the Flower Beauty, the flower. We all know what problems I have with F's anyway. I get an F in saying F. I won't purchase this $13 primer again, and I won't try any of the rest because this one lied to me. You're such a liar. Lie. You lie through your tube. I'm telling you. If you like Miss A sponges, I'm already awake, stupid. This fragrance, oh gosh darn, here comes the train. Now we gotta, here come the judge. Here come the judge. You guys remember Flip Wilson? Here come the train. Here come the train. I'm serious? I'm gonna need this, okay? Oxygen, somebody don't breathe. My gosh, the particles are probably so small, they'll go through this mask. I'm not kidding you. Oh, close your eyes when you open this. Oh, it's so small. It's actually going through this mask and I'm dying. Now I have very different brows. They're not sisters. They're not kissing cousins. They're like distant, like third, fourth, fifth removed cousins. It's not apricot a lot. It's apricot not.